All right. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Let's give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakar Kadash, the ones to the apostles, great millstone. Salutation all you Akims and Aquas out there pushing the truth. It's Children of the Light. It's Yahweh Kanan.
It's the brother Yashar.
And we coming in with another lesson because, you know, we living in the end days and it's time to identify who is Satan, the depths of Satan, KJV. And it's time to understand who is Satan and how did he go about work and how Yahweh shall use him on the earth. And by popular belief, a lot of y'all don't understand, but we finna yeah, you got
Oh, that's the Apostle Paul spoke on that. It goes like to withstand.
KJV, the depths of Satan.
Okay.
That's all you gotta put in. It's gonna come right up because there's only one verse that ever say that.
Revelation 2:24.
You gotta know the depths of Satan. So we're finna give y'all an example how Satan work on this earth and his different philosophies and laws that he passed. 2:24.
Okay. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 24. It says, "But unto you I say, and unto the rest in Thyatira, as many as have not this doctrine, and which have not known the depths of Satan as they speak, I will put upon you none of the burden."
Right, see that? Y'all don't know the depths of Satan. So when we start telling y'all who Satan is and how he go about work, it seems far-fetched because y'all stuck on Hollywood. But see, you're going to find out that Esau Edom is the left-hand side of Yahweh Shah on this earth. And Yahweh Shah told us that he allowed man, Psalm 17:12, he allowed man, he allowed man to get on that ass.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 12
to 15.
Okay. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places.
See that? So first of all, you don't even know who this person is or persons with an S. See, and we're going to shine a light on who this person is, what he did on the earth, how he went about doing it, even until he left. And we're going to also show how Yahweh shall give birth and he give you your mission here on this earth and he takes you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all in the devil's in the detail.
It's Psalms chapter 17, verse 13, all the way down to 15. "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword."
See that? Deliver my soul. Isaiah 22:3.
Okay.
We're going to finish that, but just kind of like grab the Isaiah.
Okay.
So we're going to flip right to it. I'm going to talk. So yeah, as y'all can see, which is thy sword. So Yahweh shall use man on the earth as his weapon.
So to finish up in Psalms, verse 14. You want me to get the Isaiah first?
Yeah. And
okay.
then we'll jump back because then I can.
This is Psalms 2 and...
No, 22.
Oh, 22, okay. 22 and 3.
Yeah.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 22, verse 3. "All thy rulers are fled together. They are bound by the archers. All that are found in thee are bound together, which have fled from far." Okay. "Therefore said I, look away from me. I will weep bitterly, labor not to comfort me, because of the spoiling of the dart of my people."
Come, see that? So Yahweh shall understand that he sent these Edomites to spoil us. And they did a wonderful job, especially when we started explaining who, what, when, and why. Mm-hmm. We at the why now. But who, what, when? Who the fuck is this person? Right? We got you. When did he do all this shit? Why? What did he do?
Verse 5, for it is a day of trouble, and of treading down, and of perplexity by the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai of hosts, in the valley of vision.
See that? This is the valley of vision, America. So you people out there is to be treaded down.
breaking down the walls and of crying to the mountains.
That's 8 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's back in Psalm chapter 17, verse 14. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world which have their portion in this life,
See that? They have their portion in this life.
and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure.
See that? Thou hidden treasure. Meaning wisdom, knowledge, riches, all that.
It says they are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes.
Exactly. See that?
And 15. As for me, I will behold thy face. I will behold thy face in righteousness.
That's what you see us doing.
I shall be satisfied when I awake with the likeness.
Time. And we waking with Yahweh likeness, and we knowing the depths of Satan. So now we finna shine a light on who is this person that's playing Satan on the earth.
Yep. Because that goes back into they name, Lucifer. The Hebrew is Hayel, which means light bearer, you know. And that's what Esau, that's his whole agenda on this earth, is to be the light bearer, control of all things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good observation. Yeah. Control of all things. Because what? Because I know you're finna get started. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So Yahweh made it plain that he gave it to the Edomites. And now we're finna start highlighting.
Yeah, Con. So we were talking earlier, and we're going in on the difference between martial law, which they have in California right now, LA, and the difference between martial law and the difference between humanitarian services,
National disaster.
Of the federal government coming in to relieve natural disasters versus the federal government coming in to
martial law.
Overcharge, delete civil rights.
Right, because read the definition.
Okay.
This is how you get repetition to yourself too, by doing these lessons, because you're going over the same information. Is it lock in?
It says martial law is the temporary replacement of civilian government by military rule.
Right. So if you people try to uprise for whatever reason, it's called martial law. That's when the government got to come in federal and quiz what's happening, because it's federal laws that you don't supposed to supersede, meaning take rights into your own motherfucking hands.
Mm-hmm. It says often invoked during emergencies or civil unrest.
Right. Emergencies or civil unrest. Civil unrest can happen for multiple reasons. Emergencies can happen through a national disaster, which can cause people to feel that they need to rob, rape, steal, and kill from each other. And then the government will have to take that emergency act and also declare on top of it martial law, because the people are being unruly and unjust. So you can't have no hurricane and then you have the south side of town think that it's okay for them to go loot, steal, kill, and take from the north side, because the federal government isn't coming in with their emergency relief acts. That's why the federal government be on it anytime a national disaster happens, so it won't lead into civil war. Because if the federal government don't come in with their emergency act and funds, it's an automatic civil war.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's why.
So Esau got to bring order to that, and that's what this man did.
Mm-hmm.
And now I see why he had to come with his act, because during the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 60s, you had a lot of different horrendous things happen in the United States of America, from floods, from fires we did in Chicago, to hurricanes, to earthquakes. You had the worst earthquakes in California in those days, and riots and things have happened that a lot of history don't speak about anymore. But they had to come up with something for all this.
Yeah.
That's Esau trying to bring order to this world, but I'm talking a lot, so let's get some scripture.
Okay.
I mean, or finish what you was doing.
Okay. And yep. So that was martial law, and then you have what was the other one? The Stafford Act. So you have what's called the Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act, commonly known as the Stafford Act, which
Right.
we're gonna get into him.
Right. So why was it named the Stafford Act, which is also called, which we only know as the Emergency Act?
Mm-hmm. It says the primary law that authorizes the federal government to provide assistance to states and localities in response to disasters, including natural disasters and emergencies. It authorizes the president to declare major disasters and emergencies and provides funding for disaster relief and recovery efforts.
Where the fuck is that one at?
And while you getting there real quick, this the guy. We gonna go all in onto him from the beginning of his career, from him being in college to his military accolades. How you have to through Esau's system, it's a certain way you have to come up in rank. You know, you can't just be a nobody. You have to come from somewhere. You got to be a somebody. Prove yourself. Then that's when you get access to Esau's powership. You know, Esau's rulership.
Through the secret societies. Okay, I can't find that one. Damn, I ain't used motherfucker so goddamn long. That would have fucked them up. It's a Jeremiah nigga, that's why. I know it's 30. This Jeremiah 30 and 23. Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord go forth with fury, and continual whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he has done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days you shall consider it. So we understand that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah hit y'all with these hurricanes, tornadoes, and these storms. But Esau is doing what? He trying to balance and work against Yahweh Shah by having these emergency acts and things to take care of the people after the emergencies happen. Because he playing God. This is his world. He don't want the chaos to happen until he say it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
See that? So Yahweh Shai hitting the people with different punishments and so forth. And Esau is coming behind it with the relief so he can keep his world together.
Yeah.
But it ain't going to last for long.
So we got this guy, Robert T. Stafford, Robert Theodore Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
And we going to go in, man, basically debunking him. He says he was born August 8th, 1913, and he died December 23rd, 2006. So just from his birth to his death, which you do the numerology, you have a lot of, you know, 6s and 2s and 3s, just to show him, you know, who he truly is. He's of Satan, you know. It says in his lengthy political career.
This Ecclesiastics 1 and hold on where I started. Oh, I'm sorry. I say Ecclesiastes 1. That's how you know I'm tripping. Ecclesiastics 3 and 1 is to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. Mm-hmm. So one more time with his numerology.
It says he was born August 8th.
Which one? I kind of write it.
Okay. Right. Okay, I got it right.
Just
the numbers.
Yeah, okay. Mark the 6s though.
Okay, so it says he was born August 8th, which would be 8-8-8-1913.
Make it big so you can see it.
Okay.
You can use that whole paper, so make it 3 if you have to.
Oh, I should make it even bigger. I did the same thing before.
Yeah, just make it like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Sizes. Yeah, you can use that whole paper just for this.
So he born 8-8-1913, and he died 12.
No, I'm only saying space it because like how do you okay. Yeah, then just put the sixes and make it
Okay.
that's why you could have put that down here at the death, because then it's separating it. But it don't matter, just keep going.
Okay.
Because we ain't got time for all that.
2006.
Right. Now show the sixes in there.
Okay. So
No. Do the math where the sixes like I know like for this my bad. Like I see this 2006. That's 6.
mm-hmm.
How you doing this one?
Let's see. So you got the 2 times the 3. That's
Okay.
the 6. You also have a that 1 plus 2. That's a 3. 3 sixes. And then if you go into his birthday, you have that 1 and that 9 and 1 and 3. Remember that 1 can be flipped around. I mean that 9 can be flipped around to a 6. You know, that's another 3. And then if you go into his it says in his lengthy political career, he served as the 71st governor of Vermont. So you have 7 minus 1, which is another 6. So from the time he was born to the time that he died to him serving as a governor, you have 666. You know, and hey, it's many.
And how many sixes altogether? 4. 4 go back to mercy. So he was meant to be here and do what he's supposed to do and make these acts.
Yeah. Because if you look, I'm gonna zoom in real quick. You see how it has 71st governor. If you brothers can see it.
Oh no, you ain't gotta do that.
Okay.
Because once they look up his name, they gotta do all that.
Yeah, and it's on Wikipedia.
Y'all better stop playing. We gave y'all the damn name.
Robert T. Stafford.
We ain't gotta be. That's our 5th time saying it.
67th Lieutenant Governor of Vermont. 13th 1-3 Attorney General. And all the dates, man. When you look into it, you brothers gonna be like, okay, yeah, we see it. January 6th. So it's a lot of
all the dates, his from his birth to his death to all his accolades in between that time, all numerology adds up to Satan 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the way across the board, his whole life. Omen.
That's why Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1 and 2 tell you don't trust into the shadow of Egypt.
No, you gotta get it.
Okay, come on. Cause all you doing is trusting into a higher power of wickedness. It's Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1 and 2. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord,
because we ain't trying to hear none of this shit.
That take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." See
right.
that?
Because y'all depending on Robert Stafford Act that he made. So that's why y'all adding sin to sin. Because see, y'all depending on the devil. That emergency act relief that y'all be waiting on them checks to come from California to Florida, just got hit with that hurricane. How it came through the middle of that motherfucker. And y'all got all that emergency relief funds. Yeah, all that shit is from Satan. That's why even when it came to the PPP loans, when he gave the PPP loans, what was the number of the PPP loans? Shit, y'all motherfuckers who got it know what it was. That shit ended up to some, I forgot exactly. Oh, it's supposed to have been 20,000 for everybody, right?
Yep, 20,000. I remember that.
And when you got the check cut to you, right? This is exactly how much you got. See that? You're supposed to got 20, but when they cut the check, it said 19,999. Oh well. Oh fucking well.
It says, verse 2, "They walk down to go into Egypt, which is spiritually known as America, and have not asked in my mouth to strengthen themselves."
Right, with that release fund money.
Yeah.
That Robert got set for them. That's why he have that set for y'all to depend on the government, because y'all depending on Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he got the heart program, but he's also countering Yahweh Shah and the punishments that's happening. I just read it, the Jeremiah. 30 and 23. that the fury of the Lord has went forward. You should consider in the lighter days. So Esau trying to upset that by having this relief fund to help y'all.
It says, verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh.
Yeah, because eventually Esau gonna cause that release fund to stop, to cease.
Yep.
And he know what's gonna happen next. Martial law.
Yep. And I'm gonna shout out to the brother because I was just watching his channel, GMS Vegas sit downs, literally about an hour 30 minutes ago. And he actually, I'm gonna show his video, so you brothers can see it. It says Trump's moves is applying more pressure to Babylon.
Yeah, come.
The Trump is
What the elite said.
Yep.
Pressure from above, pressure from below.
And how ironic how, we was talking about Los Angeles just went to martial law. Then as you can see, it says housing crisis just got worse with Section 8 paused in Los Angeles. So
yeah, you can put that up to the camera so they can see it.
Gone.
So you can see it, so you ain't just talking.
Yep, it's the brother GMS Vegas sit downs video channel. Yep. So shalom to that brother. And that's it in Isaiah chapter 30.
Okay.
So back to one of Esau's his elitist.
Yeah, his mighty man. In fact, let me get that. Because that's what he said he was gonna do. He said, while you sitting here watching the regular ones of them, he gonna have y'all fall by the strong ones of him. And this Robert Theodore, what's his name?
Stafford.
Yeah, he one of the strong ones of Esau.
Mm-hmm.
And that Robert, how you say his last name?
Stafford.
No, the Theodore. How you say that shit?
Oh, Theodore. Robert Theodore.
What was the president name?
Theodore Roosevelt.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's his motherfucking cousin.
Yep. Hey.
I gotta find this one.
Okay. To finish up on his summary of him, it says in his lengthy political career, he served as the 71st governor of Vermont, a United States representative, and a Republican. Stafford was generally considered a liberal or Rockefeller Republican.
See that? That's what I was just saying. My bad. Type in KJV. He shall fall. Damn, he shall cause them to fall by one of the strong ones.
Okay.
How the fuck? I don't know what that said.
It sounds like that's in Psalms.
Yeah, I know. Exactly like that.
Psalms 10 and 10.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, you can go right back to where you was at.
Okay. So I'm gonna read a few notes, man.
Yep, because I'm gonna get that Psalms right after you done with all your notes. Though.
Okay. This is to prove the scripture that the elder is about to bring out, because in his military service, he served in the United States Navy. United States Navy. He actually achieved throughout his 29-year naval career the rank of captain, which that's a very high achievement.
Hell yeah, to be a fucking captain, and you got to be a part of a luminous head group to be in the military and to be a captain.
Mm-hmm. It says he was in World War II and the Korean War from 1942 to 1971.
He put that work in.
Yep. And it says his school.
Here we go.
Yep. Start of his career. He went to 3 different schools. He was born to Bert Stafford, 1901. That was his father, who was the president of the Rutland County National Bank.
See that? See that?
Going up.
Your father is what?
President of the north of the Rutland County National Bank.
Come on now, your father?
Didn't we just read the scripture saying they leave their portion to their kids?
Yes. Yes.
So
why you think I brought that out?
Mm-hmm.
See that? Because as we going further into this Edomite, the scriptures stand proven.
Yeah. It says he went to 3 schools, but the latter school, the latest school, the most significant, he received his Bachelor of Science degree from Middlebury College in 1935. While there, he joined the Delta Upsilon fraternity. And if you go into some brief history of the Delta Upsilon, it is the 6th oldest.
There we go again. He steady hitting them motherfuckers.
All male college.
All males.
Mm-hmm.
So college, what does that goes back into your sexual magic?
Yep. All male college. Greek letter.
Oh,
They made sure
Greek,
they.
right?
Yep.
Because this is the Greco-Roman Empire.
Greek letter organization founded in North America. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so you're part of that Sigma Pi Delta, all that shit.
And this is
So the sorority.
that's they symbol.
Yeah. Let me see that symbol. The balance beams, the shield.
They got Greek right there. They got the
Florida Deletes.
triangle.
Okay, that's even better. Okay.
They got the rings.
Yeah.
Tree.
They look like Audi, which them the rings of Caesar.
Okay.
I mean, you know how Audi got the rings on their car? Like, that's an Audi car? No, that's not, nigga. That's the rings of fucking Caesar.
Okay.
Fuck out. Like, we don't know what the fuck. See, you see how, but see how they make everything new?
Uh-huh. They want to bring up some actual fucking.
No, that's it. It's gonna be in there.
Okay. So
if you keep glancing, it was gonna come up.
Audi.
What you trying to put in?
I was just trying to bring up the rings of Caesar.
Oh, pull up. You gotta pull up his crown.
Okay.
Caesar's crown. Cause that's what it was.
Caesar's crown. This one.
Yeah.
And then they do the same thing with the circles with the Olympics.
Right. That's why that's always like that. Because if you take them crowns and you put 5 of them all, loop them together, what you get? The Audi symbol. So, okay.
Endless.
This,
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, you got the scripture. That was it on this.
Okay, the Psalms 10:1. Why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in time of trouble? The wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. Let him be taken in the devices that he have imagined. For the wicked boasts of his heart desire, and bless the covenants whom the Lord abhorred. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not at all in his thoughts. His eyes are always grievous. Thou judgment are far above out of his sight. For all his enemies he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing, and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the village. In the secret place does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. And that's why this man, father, come from all that background, and then he come from all that background, military and all this, just to end to be what? What did he end up being?
A governor, a United States senator.
Yeah, okay. He crouches, he lies in wait to catch the poor. He does catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. And this man set that whole emergency federal fund up for when them or Yahushua punishing y'all, they get to play God and help y'all.
Yeah.
He croucheth and humble himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. That's him. See that? He crouches and humble himself. Them Edomites do that. That the poor may fall by his strong ones. You don't even know that this man set all that shit up. It's he has said in his heart, God has forgotten. He hideth his face and will never see it. Yeah, that's it. I ain't gonna take it too far.
Yep, con. Because we don't. This is not your average day person. When they say he hides his face and say they'll never see it. We used to seeing Trump. That's why a lot of Jakes, especially when it comes to presidency, y'all don't know what's going on because y'all don't know about the electoral college.
Right, and y'all just blaming everything on Trump like he came up with all these things he was gonna do, whether it's executive orders, or we're gonna take Norway, or we're gonna take Panama Canal, or we're gonna take South Africa. He ain't come up with all that shit. He's already had that shit. He just pushing the agenda like he's supposed to, like all other presidents did.
Yeah. Which Trump, I know Corral was doing a lesson on it. I think brother did it. Trump actually has 2 presidential advisors. He has 2 presidential advisors. So
There you go.
if you a president, but you need an advisor, then who's really telling who what?
Exactly. Because we know president goes back to the Black Law Dictionary, first slave.
Yup. And then you look those 2 people up, which I forgot their names, but it's in the lesson. You look them 2 people up, you don't get no bio, you don't get no Wikipedia page on them. All you get is an article that's telling you that these 2 men is Trump's advisors. So everything is done secretly. You don't get to know these people.
There you go. That's why you fall by their strong ones.
Mm-hmm. And to go more into it, with him being what he was called a Rockefeller Republican, because we all know about
show him that.
Okay, go on.
And then we're gonna show him who Rockefeller is. That dude with the glasses on. Oh, your camera kind of let me see.
Yeah,
I can't see. You gotta get close.
Because that's one thing about it, man. This knowledge. And that's as I said, is Daniel. Which we can get that.
Yeah, I'll see.
One thing about this knowledge is it's out there. We just have to seek it. We just have to seek it. Let me get that Daniel real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Knowledge runner to and fro.
Can you 12 and 1?
Okay.
Yeah. That's what time it is.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. It says,
Is it? Make sure though.
Oh no, verse 4.
Okay.
It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end." And now the book is open because we in the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right. We can look these people up, Wikipedia, quick search. You ain't got to go to no library and go dig and find and spend and wait for the library to open. Everything's at the tips of your fingertips.
Now, is he going into on the Rockefeller Republicans?
Show who he was.
Okay. It says, were members of the United States Republican Party (LP) in the 1930s to 70s who held moderate to liberal views on domestic issues, similar to those of Nelson Rockefeller, governor of New York, and he was also the vice president of the U.S.
So in those early times, you had a lot of Rockefellers in holding government official titles at that time, because the people didn't know that the Rockefellers was the Rothschilds, which are the 1% of this world. See, people didn't know that. That's why they can openly hold office back then, but they can't now. Yeah.
Let's see, modern usage.
Show the dude.
Okay, this guy.
Yeah.
Nelson. Okay,
they gotta see these faces.
This is Nelson Rockefeller. He was a governor. Let's see. It says it's the picture of him. It says he was a governor of New York, 1959, 1973.
There we go. Which
New York, your Trump Tower, your Rockefeller headquarters, and then he was the vice president of the U.S. from 1974 to 1977.
See that? Second in command.
More on the Rockefeller Republicans.
I will get the book. What is it called? Protocols of Learning Elder Zion, where they tell you that them the positions and how they go about doing it. But I ain't doing all that shit.
Okay.
Because I would already hit it queued up.
Yeah, it's a lot of reading.
Yeah, no, you got. That's all we need. That's all we need.
Come on. So if you brothers want to look into that.
Yeah, it's all right there.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I had on him. A few side notes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stafford, Robert T. Stafford. It says he was best remembered for his staunch environmentalism.
Right, and that's why we needed that. Because the scriptures tell you, and remember we was talking about that, how these Edomites understand the knowledge of Yahweh Shai. And because they understand it, they're able to, when they write their bios and shit, they're able to write it with the most important things that you're supposed to be about. Hold on.
Environmentalism is the concern and action aimed at protecting the environment. That's why they want to build all these smart cities and stuff like that. Save our water, save our air. And then remember, he said they robbed the poor and the needy because they had set up all these different uh uh donation stations, if you want to call them, raise money for this country, raise money for this, raise money for that. They take your money that you send for donations, but then it don't even be going to donations. Like how Zelensky said, yeah, y'all sent us almost 100 or $500 million, but we only got half of that. Where the other money at? You know, we need that for the war. So this man is just he a big liar, man.
What the fuck is that?
Just a big liar.
This Ecclesiasticus 19 and 29. A man may be known by his look, and a man may be known by his look, and one that has understanding by his countenance. When thou meetest him, a man attired in excessive laugh, and gait, meaning his talk, show what he is. Yeah. And what did they say he was about?
Oh, environmentalism. Yeah, we can obviously see how you can tell he's serious.
Yeah.
For
he ain't
his country.
Smiling. He ain't laughing. He a real man.
Yep.
You ain't finna play with him. Ain't finna run no trick on him. But what did your note say he was again?
Oh, it says he is best remembered for his staunch environmentalism, his work on higher education, and his support as an elder statesman.
Right. See that? And what do that mean? To be an elder statesman. Look that up real fast.
Okay.
Watch this. I know what it means, but I want to hear it from them. Elder statesman. Let's see what that means. That means you basically an elder.
Yep.
What y'all established with y'all one world order and where it's going, he making sure the new upstarts, underlinks like our apostles, the great millstone, who rule well, they oversee and make sure it's running smooth.
Mr. And member of a group organization, especially a retired statesman who unofficially advises current leaders.
See that? Unofficially.
So everything is off the grid.
Exactly. See that? And meaning basically when y'all telling us that these people hold these positions, what y'all don't know is these positions go beyond titles and so forth. This goes into a brotherhood, a secret order. So it's more than just a job and get a paycheck. They don't care about them jobs and them paycheck. This is their duty. So that's why he did what he's supposed to do.
And books like this, it goes into it, hidden secrets of masonry, because I'm actually about 7 pages in, and the first couple of pages it tells you about that, you know.
Yeah, get something out of it.
Okay, yeah.
Get something, because I got to get something too. Now, we talking about him being an elder statesman. Oh, you got to go there. Yeah, just give him something out there.
It's in a closet, the top right. Let's see. Yep. Okay, yeah, I'm looking for it.
Yeah, you gotta keep the camera on.
It says there are more than 1,000 degrees that can be awarded from various allied Masonic fraternities.
Then after this, we'll be 40 minutes in.
Okay. So you got people from all different backgrounds.
You know.
Okay.
You got that.
Backgrounds across the board, but at the end of the day, you have, it's because it's an order to everything. You have the 33, where's that? 33 degree Mason, but he's one of these top Masonic leaders that he give out the orders. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be no average person and get to talk to him. He dealing with the major.
Average person can't even be a fucking captain.
Yeah, right.
That's why he had all them accolades. I mean, the Navy. What did it say? He said elder statesman, right?
Yep. Because it says he was an elder statesman for the 2000 Vermont law legalizing civil unions for gay couples. It goes back into that, the worship of the Greek, because we know Esau, that's his gods. The Greeks, the Romans, the Jupiter, Zeus. different timelines, but the same. They all worship the same God, same. He's just different names. Same shit with Jake, like you say, it's same shit, just different day. But that's why he was going. That's why he's a statesman, a political advisor for homosexual. Because he's like
Right.
the proof is in the pudding.
Right. So when we go further into like what they are part of and so forth, you have the presidents. Like you have George Washington. I got many more, but I'm just gonna show George Washington. Could have winged out some other people, but he's good enough. Yeah, so like you see George Washington on page 63, it say this poster shows American first president. That's why I wish I had my book, my other book too. I gotta get it from Cuz. Because it would have perfectly went with this. And this is American first president, George Washington as a Mason. And distributed by the George Washington Masonic National Memorial Association in the Scottish Rite Journal, August 1992. Now, what is the Scottish Rite? You got Scottish Rite and York Rite are Freemasonry. And see, you don't that ain't no goddamn newsletter for all you idiots out there to just know about and read and that's it. No, this is their own newspaper amongst their brotherhood. I'm sure it to you. There's the book, Codex Magica. If you don't got it by Tex Mars, your ass behind. And you definitely ain't gonna know the depths of Satan. So here goes George Washington and all his costume.
And just a little information on that Scottish Rite, showing you how there's levels to it, minors versus majors. It says the Scottish Rite is an opinion, meaning it's a separate organization that master masons can join.
Master Mason. See that? You can't be no Mason. You gotta be a master Mason.
Yep. After completing the first 3 degrees of Freemasonry, continuing their education and exploring further Masonic teaching.
Right. Why you think he was a Navy dude? Then he went from there to what else? What else he became?
So he went from the military
service.
Yep.
And he served in Korea and all that. Got his stripes. Don't forget, he come from a banking family. So he didn't have to go do all that. He had to put himself on no goddamn line and be out there fighting this shit.
Right. That was a spirit.
That was an experience of just like you had back in the you seen the movie 300, right?
Mm-hmm.
You notice the same guys that was out there fighting, well, not 300. What was the second one? I can't think of it again.
Rise of the Empire.
Yeah, Rise of the Empire. You know the same guys that was out there doing all that goddamn fighting? They had them tokos on, and they was in the councils, arguing amongst each other. But when the movie first started, on the fucking battlefield, them man can fight.
Mm-hmm.
They out there putting that sword to motherfuckers. And them same dudes had tokos on with their little paper, standing in there arguing amongst each other. Because it kind of shocked me. I was like, oh shit, these motherfuckers was going out to fight. See, so you motherfuckers in today's time, you last 4 or 5 years, y'all weak as hell. Y'all and y'all kids, think about it, Aki. Them kids, Bush, Daddy Bush, Clinton, Obama, who else? Yeah, Biden. When did them been to a war with their kids?
But that lines up with the scripture, because the scripture tells you that at the end of times that the military men, they will be weak as women. They would